When you think of the American Midwest, images of golden cornfields, rustic barns, and friendly folks sipping lemonade on their porches probably come to mind. It's the Heartland, where values are as solid as the silos dotting the horizon and where simplicity reigns supreme. But beneath this wholesome facade lies a world that might surprise even the most seasoned Packers fan. You see, tucked away in those charming small towns and sprawling farmlands are a select few families who are anything but ordinary. They are the hidden puppet masters, the generationally wealthy old money families quietly pulling the strings of Middle America. Forget the Hamptons-style mega mansions of the East Coast or the glitz of Hollywood's elite. These Midwestern dynasties have amassed fortunes that rival the best of them, all while maintaining an air of modesty and discretion. In today's episode, we'll list the richest of them, from agrarian empires to industrial giants, as we describe the top 7 richest old money families of the American Midwest. Number 7, the Busch family of Missouri. Net worth $13.4 billion US. Number 7 on our countdown list of the richest old money families in the Midwest starts with the Busch family, whose wealth and influence are as robust as a well-poured pint of their very own Budweiser beer. Following the blockbuster sale of Anheuser-Busch to InBev in 2008, the family's coffers swelled to a staggering $13 billion, and while they might no longer be pulling the strings at the brewery, their legacy and impact still bubble over like a freshly tapped keg. In more recent times, the Bushes haven't just rested on their barley and hops. They brought their opulent and occasionally chaotic lives to MTV with the Busch Family Brood in 2020. And the reality show, starring Billy Busch, his wife Christy, and their 7 children, offers a peek into their extravagant world, where drama flows as freely as the beer. And Trudy Busch Valentine, another notable member of this beer-brewing dynasty, took her ambitions to the political arena by running for the US Senate. Clearly, the Busch influence extends far beyond just brewing. However, the origins of this storied family are worthy of a TV show within themselves. The tale begins in 1857, when Adolphus Busch, the youngest of 22 children, hightailed it from Mainz, Germany, to the bustling streets of St. Louis, Missouri. Armed with a sizable inheritance, he launched a brewer's supply company and, in a masterstroke of business and romance, married Lily Anheuser in 1861. Lily's father, Eberhard Anheuser, was a soap maker turned brewery owner, and this marriage was the start of a brewing empire. Adolphus joined his father-in-law's brewery and rapidly proved his business savvy. Within 5 years, he doubled the brewery's capacity. By 1879, the business was rebranded as Anheuser-Busch, and Adolphus ascended to the presidency in 1880 after Anheuser's death. Under his guidance, the company introduced legendary brands like Budweiser and Michelob, turning Budweiser into America's first national beer brand. But Adolphus wasn't just a beer baron, he was also a philanthropist. He poured money into educational and humanitarian causes, including significant donations to Washington University in St. Louis and relief efforts for the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. Then, the Busch dynasty navigated the choppy waters of prohibition by pivoting to non-alcoholic beverages and brewing supplies. Gussie Busch's mid-20th century marketing wizardry elevated Budweiser's status to the king of beers and included purchasing the St. Louis Cardinals. His son, August Busch III, continued expanding the empire until the company's sale to InBev in 2008. Of course, no dynastic tale is complete without a scandal or two. Billy Busch Sr. had his fair share of public dramas, including a bitter custody battle and a 1994 assault conviction. Despite these hiccups, the family's notoriety has persisted, and in the United States, Budweiser, and thus Anheuser-Busch, is indeed a household name. Number 6, the Meijer family of Michigan. Net worth, $16.5 billion. Next on our list of the American Midwest's old money dynasties is the Meijer family, Michigan's crown jewels, who are rolling in dough with a fortune deeper than the Great Lakes. Hendrik Meijer, a Dutch immigrant who revolutionized the grocery business during the Great Depression, kicked off this retail dynasty. And his brainchild was the supercenter concept that turned retail on its head forever. Then, Fred Meijer, the charismatic captain, took the helm in 1964 and navigated the company to dizzying heights. Under his leadership, Meijer Inc. became the envy of every retailer, pioneering the supercenter format and earning the Retailer of the Year award from Progressive Grocer in 2006. Today, brothers Hank and Doug Meijer steer the ship, boasting a cool $16.5 billion net worth as of 2024, and their treasure chest is Meijer Inc. itself. But it's not all sparkle and shine. Critics argue they pay their employees peanuts, contributing to income inequality, and their philanthropy, while significant, is seen by some as too narrowly focused on local causes, ignoring broader societal issues. Yet, the Meijers' impact on West Michigan is monumental. Fred Meijer's generosity is legendary, having poured hundreds of millions into hospitals, hiking trails, and his famed botanical garden, leaving a lasting legacy. Now, let's not forget Peter Meijer, the family's political hotshot. An Iraq War veteran and former U.S. congressman, Peter grabbed headlines as one of the few Republicans who voted to impeach Donald Trump. Do with that info as you will. Despite losing his seat to a Trump-backed challenger in 2022, Peter launched a bid for a Michigan Senate seat in 2024, though he later withdrew. Peter's tenure in Congress was marked by efforts to reform war powers and address veterans' issues, with several of his bills becoming law, and his audacious move to join a GOP primary field already brimming with contenders showed he's not afraid of a challenge. Yet, in a masterstroke to dodge the taxman and fly under the radar, Hank and Doug Meijer split their fortunes, each now worth a mere $5 billion. This crafty maneuver aims to reduce their tax burden and shrink their public profile, a shrewd chapter in the Meijer legacy. But the Meijer family isn't the only dynasty repping the great lakeside state of Michigan. For our next one, we'll feature another Wolverine clan in the Midwest. Number 5. The Stryker family, also from Michigan. Net worth, $17.5 billion. The Stryker family, hailing from Kalamazoo, Michigan, is one of America's wealthiest clans, thanks to the medical tech empire built by Homer Stryker. An orthopedic surgeon with a genius for invention, Homer's creations like the rubber heel for walking casts laid the groundwork for Stryker Corporation, a global medical titan. Enter Rhonda Stryker, the family's leading lady, who serves as a director and holds an estimated 10% of the company's shares, along with her siblings John and Pat. And original patriarch Homer's legacy of service and community impact pulses through their veins, driving Rhonda and her kin to embrace philanthropy with zeal. Rhonda and her husband, William Johnston, are pillars of Kalamazoo, pouring millions into local causes. Their philanthropic ventures, through the Stryker Johnston Foundation, champion education, healthcare, and community development, reflecting Homer's enduring ethos of giving back. Now, as of 2024, the Stryker fortune stands at a jaw-dropping $17.5 billion, and Rhonda, John, and Pat each control a third of the family trust that holds shares in Stryker Corporation. And opulence is a family hallmark. Their real estate portfolio glitters from New York City to the Hudson River Valley and back to Kalamazoo. John owns multiple historic properties in Kalamazoo, including the orthopedic frame Coleman building, a nod to their granddad's legacy. His Mediterranean-style mansion in Palm Beach, crafted by Marion Sims Wyeth, and a 129-acre property in Garrison, New York, protected under a conservation easement, showcase a blend of luxury and heritage. Yet, right across Lake Michigan lies a family you've probably heard of with almost twice the fortune of the Stryker lineage. Let's flip over to the next name on our list to find out who. Number 4, the S.C. Johnson family of Wisconsin. Net worth, $33 billion US. The S.C. Johnson family from Wisconsin stands tall among the world's most successful and enduring family-owned business dynasties, and their fortune traces back to Samuel Curtis Johnson Sr., who in 1886 bought a parquet flooring business from Racine Hardware Company before rebranding it as Johnson's Prepared Paste Wax Company. From these humble beginnings, S.C. Johnson & Son blossomed into a global powerhouse, employing over 12,000 people and distributing products in more than 110 countries. These days, Fisk Johnson, Samuel's great-great-grandson, is the ringmaster of this family circus. And since 2000, Fisk has guided the company through a whirlwind of growth and innovation, all while clinging to family values, community support, and a dash of environmental stewardship. Now, the Johnsons' immense wealth is the stuff of legends. Their real estate portfolio sparkles with significant stakes in iconic properties like the Johnson Wax headquarters in Racine, Wisconsin, and their collection of luxury vehicles, yachts, and private planes further cements their elite status, and their taste for fine jewelry is nothing short of legendary. But of course, every dynasty has its skeletons. Critics have lambasted the company for its environmental practices, accusing it of prioritizing profits over the planet. The production and disposal of their products have drawn significant scrutiny, presenting a tricky balancing act between success and sustainability. On the brighter side, the Johnsons are famed for their philanthropy. The family has a rich history of spreading their wealth, focusing on STEM education and much more. However, if the next family on our list woke up with the SC Johnson dynasty's money, they might feel like paupers. Number 3, the Pritzker family of Illinois. Net worth, $43.1 billion. Now, the Pritzker family of Greater Chicago boasts a gargantuan fortune that traces its roots back to Nicholas Pritzker, a Ukrainian Jewish immigrant who kicked off the dynasty with a Chicago law practice in 1901. With savvy investments and shrewd acquisitions, especially in hospitality and manufacturing, the Pritzkers built a business empire that's nothing short of colossal. At the helm today is J.B. Pritzker, Illinois governor since 2019, with a personal fortune of $3.6 billion. As Nicholas's great-grandson, J.B. has been pivotal in managing the family's sprawling assets, including hefty stakes in Hyatt hotels and Royal Caribbean cruise lines. The Pritzkers' lifestyle is as lavish as their bank accounts. Their real estate portfolio spans prime properties in Chicago, Massachusetts, and Wisconsin, and their garage is a high-end car showroom, their docks host gleaming yachts, and their private planes are always ready for takeoff. And let's not forget their jewelry collection, which could make a royal blush. But with great wealth comes great controversy. The Pritzkers' business dealings, particularly their vast real estate holdings, have not escaped scrutiny. Critics slam them for exploiting tax loopholes and using their fortune to twist local politics to their advantage. Furthermore, the Pritzker family has recently become poster children for the soft on illegal immigration wave that is sweeping to only Chicago, but the US overall under the Biden administration. Philanthropy, however, is a cornerstone of the Pritzker legacy, showcased through the J.B. and M.K. Pritzker Family Foundation. They've funneled millions into schools like Milton Academy and Duke University, and into organizations such as the Clinton Foundation and the Center for American Progress. However, when it comes down to the spreading the wealth within the family, few do it more notably than the Pritzkers, with as many as 13 members of this dynasty being billionaires with a B. Yet, they don't even crack the top 2 when it comes to richest old money families in the Midwest, which is where we'll head next. Number 2, the Cargill-MacMillan family of Minnesota. Net worth, $56.2 billion US. The Cargill-MacMillan clan started with William Wallace Cargill, who, back in 1865, decided to kick off a grain storage business in Iowa. That little venture has now ballooned into Cargill Inc., the behemoth of food and agriculture, reigning as the largest privately held corporation in the United States. Then there's Whitney MacMillan, the great-grandson of the original grain wizard. From 1976 to 1995, Whitney's Midas touch turned the company into a cash machine, pushing revenues to an eye-watering $30 billion annually when adjusted for inflation. Under his leadership, Cargill expanded globally, acquiring firms in soybean processing, corn milling, and sugar refining. It's as if everything he touched turned to gold, or rather, to multi-billion-dollar food empires. But let's not get bogged down by mere numbers. This family doesn't just roll in dough, they roll in style. Picture sprawling ranches across Minnesota, Montana, and Wisconsin. These folks live like royalty, but instead of tiaras and thrones, it's all about cattle and cornfields. Now let's talk philanthropy. The Wem Foundation, founded by Whitney and his wife Elizabeth, has funneled millions into arts, education, and social welfare. They're not just hoarding their wealth, they're giving back. Yet, their contributions to right-wing groups like the Charlemagne Institute and the Center of the American Experiment have stirred more than a few controversies. In a move that probably left many speechless, the WM Foundation recently decided to cut ties with these political causes, halting all political donations. So, despite their immense wealth, the Cargill-MacMillan family avoids the limelight like it's a tax audit. They rarely give interviews and steer clear of the social scene. Most of them live on grand ranches, far from prying eyes. Yet, their influence is undeniable. They were the majority owners of the Mosaic Company, a giant in potash and phosphate fertilizer, until they cashed out in 2011 for a cool $24 billion of the green stuff. And Cargill Inc. continues to dominate, employing over 166,000 people in 70 countries and pulling in around $115 billion annually. And if Cargill were a public company, it would rank 15th on the Fortune 500. They're the unseen giants behind an amazing 25% of all US grain exports and 22% of the domestic meat market. Thus, almost every McDonald's egg in the US is Cargill too. In recent years, they've jumped on the sustainability bandwagon, investing in renewable energy and sustainable agriculture practices. So, there you have it, the Cargill-MacMillan family. Richer than royalty and more private than the CIA. However, the family topping our list has chosen not to avoid politics, and in fact has tripled down on them. Let's flip over to find out who. Number 1, the Koch family of Kansas. Net worth, more money than your wildest dreams. Topping our list and shocking absolutely no one who's ever picked up a newspaper is the Koch family from Kansas, rolling in more dough than your local bakery. Fred C. Koch, the mastermind behind this financial behemoth, kicked things off in 1940 with Koch Industries. What started as a humble oil refining operation soon blossomed into a global empire with fingers in every pie imaginable. Energy, chemicals, and finance, just to name a few. Enter Charles Koch, the brains behind the meteoric rise of this corporate titan. Charles, who took the reins in 1967, turned the company into a diversified powerhouse, producing everything from gasoline to Dixie cups. The company's tentacles are so widespread that avoiding Koch products is about as easy as dodging taxes, which, coincidentally, is something they also excel at. Now, Charles isn't just content with being filthy rich. He's also got a penchant for playing puppet master in American politics. With a libertarian zeal that makes Ayn Rand look like a socialist, he's funneled untold millions into conservative causes and campaigns. His political influence is so vast, it's like he's running a third political party from his Kansas mansion. Speaking of mansions, calling the Koch lifestyle lavish is like calling the Grand Canyon a ditch. Their real estate portfolio features a palatial ranch in Kansas and a swanky estate in New York City. And let's not forget the high-end cars, yachts, and private planes. Charles's private jet is his flying chariot, whisking him away to business meetings and luxury getaways. But wait, there's more. The Kochs aren't just about making money. They're also about giving it away, though not without a catch. The Charles Koch Foundation's donations often come with strings attached, insisting recipients adopt specific business principles. Critics argue this is ideological, arm-twisting masquerading as philanthropy, but in a savvy PR move, the Koch family has pivoted to more visible philanthropic efforts through the Stand Together Foundation, focusing on anti-poverty initiatives. By roping in celebrities and athletes, they're aiming to polish their image and highlight their charitable side. But for all their efforts, the Koch family's immense wealth and influence remain a lightning rod for suspicion and debate. In the end, the Koch family's story is one of remarkable business acumen, staggering wealth, and a political influence that reshapes landscapes. Whether you view them as benevolent benefactors or corporate Machiavellis, one thing is certain. The Kochs aren't just playing the game, they're rewriting the rules. And now, we'd like to see you in the comments. Who is the best family on this list, and who is the worst? We can't wait to hear your thoughts, and thanks again for joining us for another episode. Cheers, until next time.